This is not how I expected to be giving away some of my biggest news to date, but here we are. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I'm Niamh. I come from the Isle of Skye. I make content about the island and just about my life in general. Whether that be there or in my boyfriend's van in the middle of Glasgow in a parking space like today. Oh my goodness, I have some really huge news to share with you guys, and this is how I'm doing it. Great. You know what? We make do with what we've got, and this is what I've got in this situation. So here I am to tell you guys that I have just launched. Oh, there's a bus going past. I have just launched my very own locals guide to the Isle of Skye. That felt really anticlimactic. In my head, I was delivering that news, like on top of a mountain on the island, or maybe saying that and then jumping into a loch or like a wild swim spot. The ideas were great. The execution, highly lacking. Here we are. We love keeping it real on this channel. To be completely honest, I've just had the most chaotic week ever with work and trying to get everything ready for this launch. I'm actually filming this the day before you're watching it. Yeah, the travel guide is now live on my website. I have my own website. This is honestly what's taken up most of my stress and anxieties this week, is setting up a website. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize how hard it was. But we're live, we're in action, and you can go and buy my digital guide now. Basically, it's so easy how it works. You can either just click on the link in my description of this video or in my bios. It'll be pretty much everywhere. Or if you even just type in niamhmackinnon.com. That's the name of my website. Shockingly, the name wasn't taken. Super easy though once you're on the website. It's very straightforward, it's very obvious. The guide's there for you to buy. You just click add to cart, purchase, and then when you wait on the purchase screen after your order has been processed, just stay on the screen for literally like a minute, maybe less if you've got better Wi-Fi than I do, and the link to the download should pop up. But if you miss that, then don't worry, because it'll also be sent to your email. And then you just click on the link and it will give you the option to download it. And you can either download it to your desktop or your phone, or anywhere else that will allow it, I guess. But I think those will be the two methods people will use. Because I wanted it to be accessible at all times, especially because when you are going about the island and stuff, you're probably just going to have your phone on you. So don't worry, it's definitely accessible and readable and all the rest of it from your phone, and it's designed as a wee pocket guide. Oh, man's just ran back there. Yeah, the joys of filming in public right now. I just can't go over this, but can you? It's got literally everything you need on there, from an interactive map that you can download to a playlist for your road trip, because you will probably be doing a lot of driving on your trip to Skye and even just getting there. Got all the spots that you want to visit, whether that be cafes, restaurants, hikes. But there's also so much more to this guide, which is why I just wanted to do a full-on sit-down video. I actually got you guys to ask any questions you had about it over on my Instagram, so I'm just going to sit down and answer them, because I know maybe you want to find out more before buying, and that's totally cool. So I'm going to try and answer as many of them as possible in this video. I guess it's only right that we start from the very beginning, and that is, how did this guide come about? And if you don't know, I think I said at the start of this video, come from the island. My family are native to the island, and I've seen firsthand the impact that the tourist industry has had on the island over the years. I actually dedicated this guide to my granny and papa, who have now passed away. But growing up, I remember towards the end especially, I think there was maybe a big boom in the tourist industry in recent years, and it saddened them seeing the negative impacts that the place had on the island. And I remember my papa saying, it's not the same as it used to be and stuff, and it made me really sad. And then when I started creating my own content to do with the island, it did cross my mind, like, would they be proud of what I'm doing, or would they think I'm contributing to, the monster that is? But creating this, I know that they will be proud of me for this, and at least trying to have a positive impact on the tourist industry in the island. And even if that's just making a tiny difference, then that's enough. Like, I'm still happy that I can at least try, because all you can do is try. And obviously, saying that, the tourist industry in Skye, I mean, it's such a controversial topic, tourism, anyways, because there's pros and cons to it, like everything in life, and there's no right or wrong, and I can see both sides. But I did find myself in this really weird in between headspace where I love sharing the island with you guys. It's a huge part of my content, but then also seeing the negative impacts that the tourist industry has on the island, and it's just something that I've found really conflicting. I actually spoke to a sustainable travel company about my guide ahead of it. It was something that was so important to me, is to make it as sustainable as possible and really promote it, and that's why the guide came about. The guide didn't come about because I thought I want to share these spots with people. It came about because I saw the impact that tourism was having and has been having and is having on the island, and I want to try and do something about that and at least just contribute to it. And through my platforms, I'm so grateful that I've got this really nice connection of like a local connecting with the visitors. And I think a place where we can both kind of exist in harmony, and and all work together to protect the island and take care of it the best we can, then like the better. um So, yes, I'm speaking to people in the field about sustainable tourism, and I just got some really nice advice one day where I was saying, I'm really stressed. Like, I don't know, is this the answer? Or I said, I don't know if I've got all the answers. And they said, you don't have to. Like, all you can do is provide the best option. Like, there's not always going to be a right or wrong. It's just, how can we do it the best we can? Um, and I think that's a really important takeaway as well, because tourism is always going to have its positives and its negatives, but ultimately it is going to take place. I don't know if that's the right English, but ultimately there are going to be tourists visiting Skye, whether I post content or not. There was tourists before I started posting about Skye on social media, and there will be tourists after I stop, whenever that may be. But all we can do is try and promote the most positive response to it as possible, and that's what I aim to do with this guide, and that's really what's driven me to create it. And obviously, of course, I also get asked daily questions and recommendations for the island from you guys. I think, a lot of people do follow me because they're planning on visiting Skye one day, or they have some connection to it, and so many of my questions are to do with that. So I just thought, let me compile all my knowledge, local insider knowledge, and put it on a guide. And it's all the information that I have in one place for you guys, because honestly, I'm so bad at replying to my DMs, and I'm so sorry for that, because it's something I need to work on. But to be quite honest, I'm so bad at even replying to my mum, so yeah. Um, but yeah, now all the information's going to be in one place for you guys. Which kind of leads me on nicely to what's in the guide. Because I think obviously you want to know what you're signing up to. If you go on my Instagram, you'll actually see in my recent announcement post the full contents page. But also when you go onto my website, you will see the full contents page before you click buy. There's like, as on any website, when you're buying a product, there's photos of it. And I've got the full contents page so you can see exactly what you're getting. There's so many different little bits to it, and I love it. And I've tried to do it in a way that's, like fun and easy to read, but also packed with information, because I feel like sometimes these guides can just be too reading heavy and really boring, or they can go the other way and it might look pretty but there's not much substance to it. So I hope I've managed to find some form of balance. I did try my hardest with that, because there is a lot of information. There's everything from like obvious things like wild camping, do's and don'ts, the right to roam, the outdoor access code, to more minor things that you might not think of, but as a local we see firsthand like some of the things that go wrong with tourists day to day. For example, I've given very simple instructions on how to drive on Skye roads, because it might sound simple, but that is probably one of our biggest issues, and it really is a problem because it blocks the roads and there's so many crashes and all the rest of it. So, simple things and rules that you might not think of, or you might not think you need to know, but then once you get there it might be quite handy to just lift out your pocket guide and be like, oh no, this is the right way to go about that, you know? Little things like that. And then obviously your classics, like I've got the main tourist attractions and told you guys, you know, worth the hype or not, because some of the tourist spots are worth it, some of them not so much, and you don't really want to waste your time doing that when there's actually so much more beauty to be seen on the island. I've got like different level hikes, so I've got things from wee walks and viewpoints all the way to, you know, hikes that go into our Cullen mountain range, so the big ones. And I've got more information on all my favourite ones. I've got everything to do with like local independent shops, and also ways that you can support the island. For example, how you can donate to the local communities or the mountain rescue or whatever that may be. It's all in there. I have put so much thought into it and so much time, like seriously months. So I just really hope you guys love it, because I've poured my heart into it. Yeah. Now that I've yapped, let's get on to answering some of your guys' questions, and hopefully I can stick to the point, not just go off on a ramble. I think especially with this, because I'm so passionate about it, I'm just like... First question is, did you take all the photos yourself in the guide? If so, what's your fave cameras to use? Oh, I actually did. I designed every single page. Everything is my own work, apart from a map on the first page, which is illustrated by Jack Sparrow, and I have linked his website when you click on his name under the image. Someone's asking how much it will cost, which I feel like a few people want to know. So it's $12.99 if you're one of the first 50 people to get your hands on it, and then thereafter it's $17.99. Does it expire at any stage after purchase? So actually, that's a really good question, so I can explain this. It doesn't ever expire. You download it, it's yours as a PDF to keep forever. Basically how it works, if we're going to get technical. You get given a link, so either once you actually press purchase, if you just stay on that screen for like a minute, the link will pop up after it says thank you for your order, and you can click on it from there and then download it to whatever device you're on. Or if you miss that, because I know some people just click off automatically, then don't worry, because the link will also be sent to your email. But there is a limit of 3 downloads on the link. So that's basically just to make sure that one person doesn't post the link online, and then everyone just downloads it. Yeah, but there's three download limits. You only actually need to download it once, and then you'll have it forever. I've just made it 3 times just in case anyone accidentally deletes it or loses it. Will I be able to buy it next year, or is it a limited amount of time? I guess I've not really thought about it that far ahead yet, which is funny, but there's no limit or deadline on it right now. I think probably what will happen is I might create different versions of it in the future, adapt to it. I'll obviously have to refresh it as things change on the island. Maybe a new restaurant pops up, or one shuts down, or, you know, there's something that's changed. And so it might not always remain as the guide is now, but I do hope to keep it up, and keep it an ongoing thing, because I hope it will be helpful for years to come. You know, like, to me, this isn't really about just getting like a quick, like, buck. I hate that word, but like, that's not what it's about. It's really just about trying to help the tourist industry on the island, and so that's not going to go anywhere, and therefore neither is my guide. But yeah, good question. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. Where can I find it? On my website. Yep, your girl's got her own website. And it's been the bane of my life trying to set it up. I honestly, hats off to any website designer or anything like that. It's so complicated, it's so confusing, it's so out of my comfort zone, and I underestimated how long it would take to set up. What a palaver. Me and Sorley's relationship hit the rocks while trying to set it up. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get it out in time. But we made it. It's live. I actually love the way it looks. It's very simple, but you know, I'm only selling one product on it at the moment. Yeah, I've just got my own website, so it means that if there is anything else in the future, then it's there. And it's called niamhmackinnon.com. So honestly, if you type my name up on your Google search, it'll probably come up, which is good. First of all, congrats. Yay, thank you. My first question, is there going to be a print version? As of right now, there's not, but it's definitely something that I would look into or consider in the future. I would love that. And I've already kind of thought about that and thought about ways that I would expand it to maybe turn it into a book in the future. To be honest, I think as you're using it going around the island, etc., it's really good and useful as a digital guide, just to be able to, pop up on your phone. Oh, let's double check this. Oh, let's see this. Oh, let's look on the map. It's perfect. But maybe in the future, who knows? Yeah, I've got some ideas. Yeah, someone else said, "Are you going to turn it into a book someday?" I think that would be so cool. I think it would be so cool too. But like I said, this is a passion project, so I've just kind of done it off my own back. I think to get a book out, you need like a publicist, but I could be lying. But I don't know. That just seemed like way too big a thing. And I was like, I'm happy with the digital guide right now. I know that it will be just as good, if not easier, as a digital guide rather than having to pick up the book when you're on the road and going about Skye. So I was happy with that for the moment, but that would be very cool. What was your favourite thing about making it? I think my favourite thing about making it was seeing how passionate I actually am about it. I actually kind of surprised myself. Like, I know I'm very passionate about the island, but as I was writing it, I was like really getting into it. And that was like my favourite thing about writing it, because I just felt so passionate doing so. Um, because it's so personal to me, and I believe so deeply in everything that I was writing, and it's coming from in here rather than me researching things. Like, it's all knowledge from inside my own head rather than like from research that I've done. So that was my favourite thing about doing it. It was so different to any project that I've ever done before. Not that I've done anything remotely similar to this before, but when I think back to when I was at university and I had a dissertation to write, or, a big essay to write, or projects like that, I was so not passionate about them. Whereas this, like, I tell people, yeah, it's like 56 pages long, packed with information, and people are like, "What? Like, how did you write all of that? That's like, you might as well have done a dissertation." And I was like, I honestly could have written a dissertation on it. Like, it's just so different though, because you're, like I said, like, I'm passionate about it and I want to write it and I was enjoying it and I was getting really invested in it and getting a bit carried away. Actually, I had to edit some bits out because I was like, right, no one wants to read an essay here. Um, yeah, that was my favorite part. It was just so cool. I've never worked on something that I felt so passionately about, in terms of like, especially like a written thing. Um, so fun. It's a thoughtful, local led guide to help you guys experience Skye with curiosity, with care, and of course with a bit of insider knowledge, because locals are the best people to ask with these things. Come on. Not biased, but I feel like a guide from a local is probably going to be a lot more knowledgeable than someone who's visited once or twice. Just saying. But yeah, I was born and raised on the island. These places to me, they aren't just pretty places on the map, they're home. And over the years, I found myself in this really weird position between wanting to share Skye with you guys and its beauty, while also fearing that I'm contributing to the negative side that tourism can have on the island. So I really wanted to do something more meaningful, something that felt like a positive response. So a local's guide to the Isle of Skye by Niamh Mackinnon was created. Ta-da! It includes everything from customised itineraries, tried and tested by me, packing lists, essential tips, Highland culture and tradition. I've got a wee Gaelic lesson or two in there. I was putting in a little bit about my personal relationship with the island and with the Gaelic language and everything like that. And then, of course, all my top recommendations for where to eat, where to sleep, where to hike, where to roam. Everything that you need to know about planning your trip and also being on the island is there, from how to get there to how to have the best experience. I genuinely cannot wait to share it with you guys. If you've ever messaged me with a question about the island, if you're planning a trip, dreaming of one, or just want to connect and understand the island better, even if from afar, then I really hope this guide helps. As of today, Sunday, the 1st of June, the guide is now live. The link is in my description as well as my bios, or you can just search up niamhmackinnon.com, which will take you straight to the website where you can purchase yours. And the first 50 copies sold are at an early bird discount price, just as a thank you to those who are supporting me from the start. So that will be $12.99 and then thereafter $17.99. Genuinely, thank you guys so much for your support. It really means the world. I found myself getting really emotional about this guide over the last few days. Just even announcing it to you on my other platforms on Friday, seeing the positive reaction that you guys had to that and your kind messages, whether it be comments or DMs, I felt really like overwhelmed with, I don't know, just like love and gratitude for such a kind, caring community. And I can't, like, I'm going to get emotional again, but I literally can't express how grateful I am to see so many other people also like appreciate and see the value in this kind of travel guide, seeing how much all other people also, you know, want what's best for the island as well as a nice time on the island. And that just like warmed my heart so much, and I feel so unbelievably grateful for the online community I have. Like, I literally count my lucky stars every single day. I know social media is not always this nice, and I just think, how did I get so lucky to literally have the best, most supportive community who all share similar values to me? And I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Even if you don't buy the guide, just your support, it means so much to me. And yeah, I just think, you know, this project, I think that anyways all the time, but then this project and seeing that support and my community kind of coming together with me has just made me so grateful. So yeah, thank you guys genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I've poured everything into this and I can't believe it's time to share it. So yeah, thank you so much for your support, for caring, and for loving Skye the way that I do. If you made it to the end of this video, comment a local's guide to Skye, or let me know if you've got yourself a copy and what you think of it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week.